Whoa. What's going on, folks? There are only 2 months between today and 2026. And I know I want you to make next year like your super duper ultimate breakthrough year. So we're going to talk about the damn matrix. And it is the tool that I use to maximize momentum in like all the things that we do. If you were here on the last call, we did the first wave of guilt-free future planning, and this is the second wave. And so if you need a reminder, we'll do a little refresher here in a second. But I want to make sure you understand that the damn matrix is the tool that I use, and I want to help you use or introduce you to so that you can prioritize for impact. Because, you know, some of us have been in some situations, maybe had a year or two, or maybe a string of years where doing the things just kind of wasn't enough or didn't get to the point that we wanted it to be. And so prioritizing for impact is absolutely my cheat code for like making things happen, keeping the momentum up, and like staying focused and staying the course. If you're new here, I am Jesse. I'm your selfish servant. And again, the damn matrix is just one of the tools that I use to make sure that I'm not just checking boxes, but actually having impact in the world and serving people to the degree that I know I can serve. And I want you to have the same thing. So if you're all about impact, stick around because we're about to have some fun. Of course, I'm going to be flipping and flopping back and forth between screens. So I don't know. I've been practicing. Maybe I've gotten better at it. But if you are out there in the omniverse, all you amazing human beings that are super supportive, even the lurkers, let me know where you're at. Drop me a good morning. Ask any questions. Drop your challenges and your objections about the thing. This way, at least I know I'm not talking to myself. And look, what a coincidence. We got 2 people in the comments. Oh, we got the Nomadic Joneses. What's going on? Fierce supporters coming in from YouTube land. And I think they're like in Europe or Spain. They're always at some super sexy place. They say the Nomadic Joneses say, hi, Jesse. And then Miss Heather, she says, we are here. Thank you, Miss Heather. I appreciate you super, super duper. Also, folks, if you don't know this, when you make a comment, ask a question, whatever, when you drop something in the chat, it's going to put your name into the randomizer. And so at about, 20 or 25 minutes before the half hour, I'll do the clicking so we can see the raffle. And if your name gets selected, you get automatic free entry into the Make It Happeners exclusive online community. And it's just a community where a bunch of us support each other, cheer each other on, share things, share tips in terms of like time management and making progress on all our big ideas and our big goals. And so if community helps, man, community helps us keep it alive because we're not alone in this world. And when we do things together, for me anyways, it seems to make things easier. All right. So I threatened you. I said, we are going to prioritize for impact. And why impact? Because there's a lot of things I can do that are super, super easy, right? I could, like, if I have a 15, 20 list thing to do today or this month or for the year, it's very easy for me to attack the things that are easy to check off. Now, some people, that helps them with momentum. That does not help me with momentum. It just exhausts me because I only have a certain amount of energy and I need to give it to the most impactful things. If I give it to like wishy-washy stuff, that's an easy, my PPC, my percent complete is going to be high, but the impact I had is low. That's no bueno for me. It's not sustainable. And particularly when it comes to long-term planning. And when I'm talking about long-term planning, for me, that time horizon has expanded. And it has expanded through repetition. There was a time where long-term planning for me was more than a week. And then it was 2 weeks. I couldn't, if you asked me what my 5-year plan was, I had no damn answer because I was just trying to make sure I had food for gas. Money for gas and food next week. And so over the years, I've been able to like expand what that time horizon is. and what long-term planning means to me. And so for me, when I'm talking about long-term planning, it's very simple, especially at the end of the year, because we've got a brand new year coming out in front of us. And if we don't want to repeat the same experience, we got to do something a little bit different. And so on December, which is my birthday in December, is when I do my long-term planning. And I think about the entire year. After I do that, then I go back to that plan and I look at it in quarters. Okay, what do I want? Well, actually, I look at it in thirds now. It's 4 months at a time. There's a bunch of weirdness about that. And if you're interested, hit me up, or maybe we'll talk about it on the after party. But I think of my years in thirds now. And then I do monthly, right? And so what we talked about at our last live stream was the first phase of long-term planning, which is, hang on, let me change this view. All right, there, I like that view better. So the first phase of long-term planning, or guilt-free future planning, this is a quick review in case you missed it, is simply to get all the stuff out of your head. The big, giant, important things, the ideas, the goals, the projects, the skills that you want to build, all of the things that never really happen because tomorrow, because I'm busy, because I have all these other things. It's really just about getting them out of your head, right? If you haven't started them, or more importantly, if you started them but haven't finished them and they just kind of been dying on the vine there, getting them out of your head in terms of whether they're business or professional, personal growth, or like relationships and maintaining connection with important human beings, whatever that is, or building new connections, getting them out of your head so that you can see them. The reason that is super, super important is because when we keep it all in our head, they kind of get all distorted and they're bigger and heavier than what they actually are. And then we just pile more and pile more and pile more. And it creates this stress or this static in our mind that kind of handcuffs us and keeps us from making decisions to actually make progress on the thing. So phase one, if you want to watch the replay, I'll put a link in the thing so you can watch the replay from the last live stream, is just getting that out of your head so that you can see all the things that you have. And I promise, well, I have a double promise. The first part of that promise is when you start getting them out of your head, you're going to feel a little bit of like, oh my God, there's all these things. There's so many things. I'm never going to finish. That's okay. Take a breath. It's not the end of the world, because guess what? If you haven't started them yet, nobody cares. Nobody's going to judge you. Nobody's going to be disappointed in you. This is all you. And then after you get it out of your head, then you can say, oh, these things aren't that big. Like, they don't all have the same massive weight that they used to when they're in my head. Now, there are some that are more impactful or more urgent, more important, and that's okay. And then there's some that are kind of like, man, it's not as big as I thought it was. It was trying to like a little chihuahua. There's a whole lot of bark, but not much bite to it. Unless they bite you, then it's a different thing. Anyhow, so the idea is get it out of head so you can visually see the things. Now, once you've done that, dun, 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 that's where the damn matrix comes into play. And why am I calling it the damn matrix? Because it's about doing the damn thing. You all have goals. We all have objectives. And it really just comes down to doing the damn thing. And what keeps us, that my assertion, my whole theory, philosophy about this stuff is the number one thing that keeps me and you from getting the damn thing done is between your ears. It's the things between your ears, the thoughts, the way you look at things, the way you visualize things, and the way you prioritize or don't. So that's why the self-first framework is designed, and it's 100% focused on you and how you think about time and how you manage yourself towards executing stuff. So I'm gonna stop preaching here a little bit. Looks like we got a comment coming in. Oh, Miss Heather's got a heavy one. So Miss Heather says, okay, serious questions. How do you deal with the rabid squirrels, not regular squirrels, rabid squirrels? That's what I call the squirrels that come up that are actually necessary to handle immediately. They can't be put on the back burner or delayed. I've been dealing with the whole pack of rabid squirrels lately. Oh my goodness. All right, Miss Heather, this is a gifted and talented question. Super, super precise question. And I appreciate you like coloring it for me, because the way I handle the rabid squirrels, and the way I recommend everybody handle the rabid squirrels, is by using the daily domination framework or template. Actually, template's probably the better word. And if you want the daily domination template, drop double D in the comments or scan the QR code, and it'll get you, put whatever you need to do to sign up and get the thing, and you'll get a lot of extra cool stuff. But anyways, back to your question, Miss Heather. The question is, how do you deal with the rabid squirrels? Those rabid squirrels are the things that pop up that like unplanned, unanticipated, and they have to be addressed right away. So the way I handle them is doing them, right? Get them out of the way, get them done. They just have to be done. But in the daily domination board, I create a card and I identify it as a curveball. You could change the label on my board. I have it as a curveball. You could change the label to rabid squirrels. And what I do is that's okay. So it's going to have that label. It's going to have that particular color. And then I'll assign a name because it's always coming from somebody, even me sometimes. So I'll type their little name in there, and then I'll kind of describe what the thing was, because it wasn't planned, but it had to get done, and it took some of my energy and maybe got me off my flow a little bit. And I will continue to track the rabid squirrels, because at the end of the week, so once I put it in my to-do column, rabid squirrel, whatever the thing is, and I put it in my done column, at the end of the week or whatever frequency is appropriate, when I reflect and review, like how many curveballs or rabid squirrels came in and bit me, where did they come from? That's the key for me, is because I track it. And at the end of the week, or for me, I do it at the end of the week. For you, it's your call. I can see from a broader time horizon, instead of just in the moment, from a broader time horizon, from a week perspective, I can see how many people or where those rabid squirrels are coming from. And what I found over many, many years, they seem to come from the same people. And so then that gives me some insight, like, okay, if this person, this individual in these circumstances, they are very likely to call me with the damn emergency, their hair's on fire and I got to take care of it right away. Then I can come up with a plan to mitigate that. So if that helped, Miss Heather, let me know. It is the way, that is exactly how I handle the rabid squirrels. And I, you know what, I may be stealing that and integrating the rabid squirrel idea into the next workshop. So thank you for that question. That was super good. Oh wait, she's got to come back. She's okay. That's how I handle them too. There have just been so many lately that doing those end up meaning other important things have to get dropped 100%. Let's not talk about how long my to-do list has included making time for regular yoga practice with no movement because of curveballs, rabid squirrels. 100%. And that's the reality of it, right? Is when things come and interrupt and disrupt our flow, something's got to fall, right? My thinking is like, okay, which ball am I dropping today? Because something's got to give. What I typically do that I don't recommend is I just sacrifice sleep. So it's sleep, exercise, nutrition, almost in that order of what I will sacrifice when my life is full of rabid squirrels. But I'm telling you, tracking it and like coming up with a mitigation plan after the fact helped me manage that better, so that I'm focused on sleep, my exercise, and my nutrition. Again, I'm not, hopefully that didn't come across like I'm telling, oh yeah, how do you handle it? Just don't eat. Just eat freaking mountains of fast food and don't sleep. Because that's not what I'm saying. Oh, so thank you again for the question, folks. If you got them, drop them. I'm happy, more than happy to answer them. And again, if you want to get the daily domination board, hit that QR code or drop double D in the comments. I'll hook you up with the link. We even have a testimonial here from a user. Mr. Jake Jones says, even better than just a list is to use the double D Trello board to line everything out so that I have a record. Absolutely, man. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate not just using it, but like, I mean, not just talking about it, but actually using the damn thing. That's the whole freaking point. All right, so here we go. We are going to go back to the damn matrix. Again, this is about prioritizing for impact, okay? Impact over effort wins in Jesse land all the time, because for me, the fulfillment I get from having major impact is what keeps me alive. It's what keeps me focused. And I promise you, if you haven't, if like your prioritization style is just about getting things done and responding to the loudest crybaby out there, I understand. I've lived that life. But it's not like reinforcing. It doesn't build momentum or energy. Not for me, anyways. And so if like you're tired of that, I got some fire for you. So the damn matrix, again, we talked about on the last call, we went over like getting all the stuff, our big projects, our big ideas, our unstarted or unfinished dreams, getting them out of our head so we can see them. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to give weight to them. We're not prioritizing yet. We're giving weight to them. And we're giving them weight based on impact and effort. Because I said a bunch of times already, the damn matrix is designed to help us understand where we can have the greatest impact. Why? Because we have all been blessed with gifts and talents, and sharing those gifts and talents with the world is the whole freaking reason that we're here. So what you would do is you'll go, if you did your homework and you've done the thing, you would go to your buckets, right? And those ideas, goals, aspirations, projects, all of the above, and you would start pulling them one at a time, and you would weight them based on impact and effort. So if you did it, and I want to be clear, there's a trip hazard here. Some people get kind of wrapped around. I want you to think about it in terms of starting, not completing, because I know the most impactful things that I want to do or have done, them freaking things are gigantic. And some of them are going to take me years to complete. Some of them are going to take me months or weeks. But the most impactful stuff, there's a path, there's a journey, there's a ton of learning. So don't think about it in terms of like, if I finish it, it'll be impactful. It's if I start it, okay? And the other thing, back to like the guilt-free part, this is from your perspective. It's not, I want you to think about it from terms of what would bring you the most fulfillment, what would bring you the most happiness, not what other people expect from you, not what other people want from you, not what you think they're expecting, what you want. And I won't tell anybody. I promise. I'm not going to tell anybody that you were being selfish. I'm wiping all the guilt away from you. So anyways, with that, from that context, if you can do that, the next thing you do is drag those things, whatever those tasks are, and weigh them based on impact and effort. So you can see these little, I don't know what you call them. Shoot, there's a math term for it. Anyway, on axis. So on this axis, up and down, you have high impact and low impact, right? So the top left quadrant is going to be high impact things that are low effort, right? Meaning they're not going to take a lot of effort, a lot of ganas, right? You just got to do the thing, but they're going to be very impactful. You would put those in the top left quadrant. Now the next one, so those are the ones that you do first, right? You start making plans for them and taking action on things. The next one is on the top right quadrant. They're still high impact, but they're going to be higher effort. So you're going to take a little more effort, maybe resources, research, who knows? Because they're your magic things. And so on the right quadrant, what we're going to do is we're going to weigh any of those ideas, project things that you have out there that are very impactful, but they're going to take a lot of effort. You might need to get a certification or, whatever it is. Put those in the top right quadrant. After that, we go down to the bottom left quadrant, which is M, maybe next, right? Now, these ideas, projects, whatever they are, they're going to have, kind of moderate impact on you, on your mental wellness, on your family, on your community. They're not going to have gigantic impact, but they're going to have some, but they have low effort. So that's good, right? Because they're going to be easy to just do them and get them out, get them rolling, introduce them into the world. Those kinds of ideas and projects, you're going to put them on the bottom left quadrant. And then lastly, we have the ones that are super high effort, very, very low impact. Those go on the bottom right quadrant. Why? Because in my brain is super simple. If it's going to take a lot of damn time and a lot of energy and a lot of resources for me to do something, but that something is going to have like marginal impact, why would I do it? and I'm going to tell you, like, I'm not recommending this so that like you could stop doing it. I am recommending this so that you can like really get clear what has happened when I get these things out of my head and then I run them through the damn matrix and weigh them based on impact and effort. What has happened every year, every single year, is the stuff that's high impact ends up taking up so much time and having the impact I want it to have, that the stuff that's on the bottom, I don't even touch them, because like they're not going to be as impactful. The ideas, the great, beautiful projects that well, at least from my perspective, they end up taking so much damn time. I don't have the time, resources, or energy to do the other things. And so what does that mean? That means there's some things that I was imagining I could do that I'm actually not doing anymore. I don't care about them as much anymore. But it also means all of the things that were super impactful, I have actually taken action on. And that brings me tremendous fulfillment. And it's the fulfillment that keeps me going forward, right? Like I'm a little bit selfish, not a little bit, I'm a lot of bit selfish, because I serve others because of the fulfillment it gives me. I share my gifts and talents because of the fulfillment it brings me. And so, sure, I'm a little bit selfless, right? I'm a servant. I want to serve others. I want to support and contribute to your path as much as you will allow me to. But I do it because it brings me fulfillment. So that's why I'm a selfish dude. Anyways, let's go to the comments. We got a comment coming in. We got Mr. Abaz. What's going on, my brother? Fierce supporter. Coming in from the other side of the world. Oh, look at Heather. She's confessing. She says, yes, Jake Jones, I have the Double D Trello board and it's been unruly. Unruly. You know what, Heather? Here's another thing to think about. This one's kind of it's a big challenge. When the rabbit, like if one rabbit squirrel, this is how I think about it. When one rabbit squirrel disrupts my entire day or even multiple days, it's likely because I'm attempting to do too much in one day. I know you're a super, super high achiever, and that math don't math in our head. What do you mean trying to do too much? And so what I would suggest, consider evaluating, like if you're using the daily domination board, when you list out your tasks for the day, how many tasks per day are you creating? Like when you're planning for the day, how many tasks are you targeting? If you don't know that number, start paying attention to that and find out what that number is. And then get intentional about what an appropriate actionable number should be. And quick example, I've said this a bunch of times, but if you're new here, I want to make sure you hear it. I used to have like 15 to 20 things on my list every day. And this was back when I had like a real job, not today. And what I found was I'm competitive and I'm going to get all my stuff done. But what that meant was if anything didn't go per plan, if there was anything, an unplanned call, man, I was like, what do you need? What do you want? I got to go, like, hurry, get to the point. So people didn't really like me. And if I was traveling somewhere and I didn't get all the green lights, it was the end of the world. I was stressed. I was like this all the time. And so what I started doing was shrinking that. And actually I set a target 15. I was still kind of rude and mean to people. I got it down to 10. And 10 was like, okay, 10 targets, action items for the day, gave me enough space to be nice and also challenged me to get all my freaking work done. So anyways, Heather, back to you on the rabbit squirrels. It's possible, I don't know, but it is possible that you're biting off a bigger chunk than is reasonable. Because here's the thing, if it's cutting into your yoga and your sleep and your food and your meditating and all those other things, what it's no big deal. I won't do yoga today. I'll only do 5 minutes instead of 10 minutes of meditation. I get it. I've done that. I'll only sleep 6 hours or 3 hours instead of 7 hours. Like I do that. I get it. The problem with that is when you're doing that, you are degrading like your amazingness, because it's those things that make you amazing. It's those things that provide the experience to the people that you're serving that they appreciate and look forward to. And so the practice or the discipline is to guard that. My technique to do that is like set a limit on how many things that I'm taking on. so that I can make sure that I'm, getting my exercise in, sleeping, nutrition, doing all the magical things. Oh my goodness. And we got Miss Yuri Salgado. What's going on, sister? Coming in from H-Town. Oh man, super, super supportive. All right, folks. So I'm going to do a quick review, and then we are going to the randomizer. What was the quick review? Oh, the damn matrix. Duh. See, I get to storytelling and I forget where my brain's at. So super, super high level. We talked about on the last live stream, getting all the big ideas out of your head. And why am I like hammering this long-term planning? Because that's a new year. The end of the year we're in it. We got 2 months left. You ain't got to wait till December 31st and come up with your resolution that, I don't know about you, but resolutions, I was never like, that was ineffective for me. This is what's effective for me. So get all the things, ideas, projects, dreams, goals, aspirations, get them all out of your head so that you can see them, right? You may not have this chart thing that I'm flashing up on the screen. You can get it. And all you got to do, again, drop Double D in the comments or check out this super fancy QR code here, and that'll give you access to the Daily Domination template. And then there's an email sequence. So then you'll start getting other downloads that you can put into practice, or you can use a damn piece of paper. Like, it's not that complicated. So anyways, get it all out of your head so you can see it, and then run it through the damn matrix, which is just a 4-box framework, right? Impact and effort. Weigh the thing, the idea, the hope that you want to have or bring into the world, and weigh it in terms of how much impact it's going to have and how much effort it's going to take. Anything that falls in the top left quadrant, in the D box, do those first, because they're going to have a high impact, and it's not going to take a lot of effort, energy, resources, etc. Anything that falls in the top right quadrant, the A box, don't mess around with those until after you did the ones in the first box, right? Just get those done, because impact is amazing. It's addictive and fueling. It's magical. After you get those rolling, I don't mean complete, but once you get them started, then you want to look at the stuff that's okay. It's high impact. It's going to take a little more effort, but you got momentum, man. You're grooving, and neurons are going to start connecting, and that'll help you like execute and deploy the other things that are in the other box. And then in terms of sequence, the idea would be anything that is low impact but low effort, maybe consider them, but don't mess with them until you've done the D box and the A box. And then finally, after you've done all of those, then you start looking at the N box. You need to evaluate those, because those are going to be very high effort with low, moderate to almost no impact, right? So anything there, don't throw it away. Just don't touch it yet until you've deployed and taken action on all the other stuff. That's the damn matrix. That's the framework. If you want more about like all of this super nerdy time management, self-management stuff, I've got a batch of self-first framework workshops coming up at the end of the year in December. Let me know, like for real. The framework, it goes from plan, commit, execute, right? Plan, long-term planning, long vision plan. That's what we've been talking about here. Then we get into commitment, meaning making space in our schedule for the things. And then we get into daily execution, which are 3 different ways of thinking. And I think that's the magical part. At least for me, it's been super magical. And I don't know, we've had over 50 some odd people go through the workshop. Just that simple delineation of planning and having a specific tool and framework to do the planning, or committing and having a specific tool or framework for scheduling and committing, and then daily execution seems to help a bunch of people, because what typically happens is we commingle all of it, and then our brain gets stuck, and then we get handcuffed and we don't make any progress. So you want to like know what that experience is about, and more importantly, get the tools and mental models to help you freaking kick butt in 2026. Hit me up, because I've got these workshops coming and they're fun. Like even even other people have fun, not just me. Look, Miss Yudi says, yes, please. Girl, I got you. I'll send you a link. Heather's asked, is it possible to incorporate this matrix with the double D Trello boards? Okay, I don't know. I'll say this. The first thing that comes to mind, I haven't thought about it, Heather, but I like the idea. There's two things that come to mind. One is maybe you create a board, and on the labels, you label them as high or D, right? High impact, low effort, high impact, high effort. And maybe you label the ideas or tasks based on that. It is another way to like visualize it and get out of your head. And then it's very easy to like just move the cards around. So you have like a list. Now, in terms of, I don't know if this is what you're asking, but just in case, in terms of like marrying the mural board that the DAM matrix is on with the Trello board, I don't know how to do that. I can ask GPT if that's or how to do that, or if it's even a thing. But I do think the framework or the thinking absolutely can be used in the Trello board. The way I would do it is to use it either by making the labels and calling them high, like DAMN, right? Do these first after the next, or high impact, low effort, da 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 da. Or you can create columns. Is, you know how we have the to do, doing, done column. Each of those columns could be high impact, low effort, high impact, high effort, blah blah blah. That's what comes to mind first. I may not have made sense, but I gave it a stab. And actually, damn it, I forgot. I got to do the whatchamacallit. What do I need to do? I need a reminder here. My brain just turned off because I'm nerding out about daily execution. Oh, I gotta do the randomizer. And then I have to drop the link for the after party. So give me a second here. We're going to do the randomizer. And I want to remind folks out there in the Omniverse, if your name gets drawn in the randomizer, you are going to get immediate instant access to the Make It Happeners exclusive community, where we can nerd out about all these things. I know Jake dropped some really good things in there. Craig dropped some really good, nice little celebration in there recently. So here we go. Oh, we got Mr. Lance just in time, made the cut. It is time for the randomizer. I love seeing all the faces flash. Oh man, Heather, you're like on a massive winning streak, because you won the randomizer for emotional bungee jumpers, and now you won the randomizer for the Make It Happeners. So, sister, I owe you a bunch of invites, and I'm excited for you to be part of that community. All right, folks, let's give Miss Heather a shout out because she's a baller. Oh, look, so we got another request here. My brother Lance says, high impact, low effort. Man, bro, like for real, right? It just feels so good. And here's another way, like a confession about this high impact, low effort. If you're like me and love like that instant dopamine hit, you're like, oh, high impact, low effort, man. That's the super fastest way to get that hit. And that's really why I do it. The Nomadic Joneses say, please also post the link to the after party here too. LinkedIn is being weird. Okay, I appreciate that. So I'm going to have an after party. I'm going to need about 5 minutes. So once I log off here, because I'm about to log off. Once I log off here, I'm going to put the links in the things. And I got to let my phone finish downloading whatever it's downloading. And then I'll be in the after party. So right now it's like 35 minutes after the hour. If you want to like jump on as soon as you see the link, please do, but hang tight. I'm not ignoring you. My phone's I got some stuff that I need to work through to make sure I can get on the after party. So it's going to happen. I'm going to share the links. Actually, I should do that right now, man. You know what? I think I found, hang on. I'm going to play a little elevator music for a second. Here, let's see. No. Okay. I'm gonna run a little bit of elevator music because I also another thing that I was doing incorrectly, or that made it difficult for folks to access the after party, and that is posting the link after I closed the live stream. So what I'm going to attempt to do right now is post the stupid link right now, so that it's in the comments and you can do the clickety click. Which I know I'm just taking up your time right now, so appreciate y'all's patience. Someday I'll get more gooder at it. So I just posted it in the YouTube. Jake, if you can see that, give me a thumbs up. Just to make sure, and I'm dropping it in the LinkedIn chat right now. And then I'll go back and do it again, just because, I want to make sure you guys, I get to hang out with y'all this morning. Boom. All right, so it's in the LinkedIn. Look, here's proof. It's in the YouTube channel. All right, Jake, he says, yes, I can see it. Beautiful. It's in the LinkedIn chat. So folks, again, I'm going to need a couple of minutes. What'd y'all think about the music? Is that like the coolest, most calming music ever? Anyways, I appreciate y'all being here. If you're up for talking and nerding out and diving into some more of these things, we're going to have the after party. You're not going to have to be on video. I'm going to be on audio so we can ask questions or just catch up and goof around. So I appreciate y'all very much. Be kind to yourself. Be cool. And we'll talk at you next time. Peace.